information out there, but short gist, a 9,000 pound trailer with 14,000 pound piece of equipment. We're rolling here. It's a bunch of rolling hills, but as much of a hill climb that is, I think that's the biggest hill climb going towards I-90 here. So, but it's still, it's still nice to see. You guys can see me on the rolling hills. I'm averaging high 190s on the coolant, 207 on the oil, and here goes the boost. So we're starting to climb. We're turning probably about 1,800 RPM in the 7th gear. If I had to put a number on this, probably about 6% grade. So yeah, 7th gear is in overdrive in this transmission. It's an 8-speed transmission. So yeah, if you do some basic math, 14 plus 9 is 23,000 pounds behind this truck. Doing it phenomenally. Yeah, I can't say enough good when it comes to heavy hauling. This is the only truck, not the only truck, but this truck, not only is it confidence inspired, it just doesn't stress it. The strategy that the transmission has is phenomenal, and the ability this engine has to just keep pulling. The coolant went up a couple degrees, that's not a concern. The oil went up 1 degree, that's not a concern. Just it has the bones, it has the backbone of hauling heavy. Just heavy hauling is what this engine's made for. Just does not stress it. Yeah, I didn't pull 10 mile hill or anything, and I'm not pulling anything crazy, but still at 24,000 behind the truck is not your average Joe's toe, if we could call it that. So yeah, for the curious ones, how does it compare with the Ford? Ford has more power. Ford has plenty of power. But Ford, when it tows this kind of weight, and it's not like something crazy, but it's up, it's upper in the upper scale. It flexes more. It pushes harder. It pretty much stresses more. Like I feel like this thing is in its element, right? It's not sweating. It's not stressing. I'm not in and out of the temperatures. I feel like the temp gauge moves more when I'm empty than I'm loaded. It's just how it is. This is just what this truck is good for. And I think Ram's going back to their roots, the way things are. No, it's not a perfect truck. Matter of fact, when I'm driving around empty, there's one thing I absolutely hate about it. It will not drop and fire, meaning it will not just, when you get on the hammer, it just won't take off. If you're steady with the hammer, like you steady linear with the hammer instead of jabbing the skinny pedal, linear works just fine. It hangs out with the program, but as soon as you start jabbing it, this thing's lost. It's useless. It's a disgrace how slow it is. If you try to abruptly pass someone or just get on that throttle, it sucks. Ram really needs to figure their crap out. But you don't do none of that when you're towing. So once again, when it comes to heavy towing, this is a phenomenal setup. The Germans with the transmission, their strategy, the truck doesn't rising as far as it taking off. It's just like a slow and steady. I'm underlining this because everyone was raving in a negative way. 342s, oh my God, it's end of the world. Well, let me tell you some more. You see those down there? Those are 35s. I still haven't told you guys. I talked about the setup I got on this truck. I got to share that with you. A lot of you guys are curious. And that alone added 2 miles an hour. So with 35s, true 35s, my size at 35.1s. Well, the 295 6520s, that's the only size I run for load capacity reasons. The tranny doesn't struggle, slip, stress, doesn't give you any sign of a struggle. So when it comes to heavy towing, I would pick the Ram every single time. The only place this Ram falls on its face is drag racing, zipping through town. It just doesn't have the fire in the hole kind of let's rock and roll. That's a big down on this truck coming from a 24 at high output Ford. But yeah, this video is supposed to be a heavy tow kind of scenario, but it's more of an owner experience of a heavy tow, and I'm trying to find more and more time for you guys to translate my experience, because that's what this video's that's what my video's about. That's what this channel's about. Something else I want to talk about is that oil pressure sensor. A lot of people don't know that's the real deal, and that's perfectly fine. It's within spec. It's within the industry spec. It's within Cummins spec. Everyone's used to their fake 32 algorithm PSI that they saw in the 4th gens and the early 5th gens. I'm going to refer to this as the late 5th gens, because if Ram doesn't change the cab, anyways, we'll just leave that for another time. But I'll just consider this the late 5th gen, latest 2025. Anyways, fellas, I'm gonna wrap it up as always. Well, hold on a sec. Got a little bit of a hill climb, so I'm gonna share this with you guys. Is it gonna maintain speed? Is it gonna downshift? What is it gonna do? Yep, it's gonna downshift. I did not I did not see or feel any loss of power. You guys saw the speedometer kind of stay at 62 the whole time. Transmission does very good. This is full automated, meaning it's in cruise control, it's doing something. Probably not my first choice in towing, but given the situation, it's handling it just fine. You guys saw the boost. It's a flat road. There ain't no much to it. We're doing 65 actually miles an hour because of the tires. But we need to fix that as soon as that becomes available to us. So there you have it. Firsthand, my oil coolant went up to 203. My engine oil kind of doing its own thing. Steady at 207. Tranny fluid just doing its thing. And boost is doing its thing. You can hang out, but I'm going to keep you guys with me here for another 30 seconds. We're going to go on another rolling hill, uphill, and just show you guys, That was a very abrupt hill climb. I think it's the entry point that got this truck. It wasn't, if you could call it that, it wasn't anticipating it. Like right now, we're climbing, right? We got this gradual climb. We're at 23 psi, and to top it off, we got a butt kicker in the end. It gets even steeper. Right now, I'd call this about a 3 to 4% grade, and in the end here, we got this short 7 to 8%. See, and it just keeps going into 6th gear. 6th gear, it's 1-to-1, and when it comes to like long, steady hill climbs, that's the gear I typically choose to conquer the hill, and if you know what I mean. But yeah, 6th gear, nothing wrong. 2200, 2250 maybe. Guys just add 2 miles an hour. Doing 63 miles an hour, you can really show 61. I keep pointing at this thing, but I don't think you guys see what I see now. You're not gonna see an LED screen, so just take my word for it. It's 2 miles an hour increase. So we'll get her back up to 63 and keep cruising, fellas. As always, may the good Lord bless you.